Hello, welcome to Spawn Gaming. We're doing a painting stream this morning of this guy. So, something a little bit different. This is a Kenku. So this is Dungeons and Dragons character. I'm playing in 2 games at the moment because I can't get enough of it. So I'm playing in a Ravenloft campaign with playing a Goliath, Paladin of Vengeance. Very sort of cross between sort of giant and like Norse mythology sort of following. And the other one is a Wildemount campaign. So if you follow Critical Role, this is their setting. So Exandria is like the first continent from the first series, and Wildemount's the second. And that's where we're currently playing. So we're playing in person and over D&D Beyond, depending on like people's schedules, which is kind of cool. So it's a little bit more relaxed in schedule, like stringed out, rather than our Ravenloft is like just an online game. So it's every week, so it's nice and easy to do it every Thursday. So I've joined the group. They've been going like a little while. And I had quite a good free reign of what to play, and I wanted to play something with like that real bit of character. And I've seen Kenku and read about them, and they just look super interesting to play, and like super fun for a roleplay. So I have made a character who is Whistle. So literally, you will whistle every time people ask him his name. Like Whistle. We've had a couple of discussions with DM. Obviously, we're 6th level, so I've been around it enough to pick up a load of different say-ins, so don't have to just parrot back what I've heard from the player characters and NPCs, which is cool. So yeah, essentially, I've got like a bunch of sayings in my mind I can refer back to. Obviously, I could do the generic. If someone says something, just repeat it back. Kenku, if you don't know, are birdkin who were cursed and lost the ability to fly and lost their voices, so they could only mimic other sounds, other words they hear. So they're really fun looking. There's a character, Kiri, in I think it's the first season of Roll20, which I've not got to. I started on the 2nd series, so I started way late. But get this guy across here, and they're super cute. They're super fun. So I'm playing a rogue. I started as an arcane trickster, and then like 2 weeks later, I've got to that episode where in the 2nd series they start to pick up their class specialities, and their rogue is an arcane trickster. I'm like, oh well, never mind. I didn't know that. But like one of his goals, then one of his sort of character hooks is Kenku want to be able to regain the ability to talk and fly. So his arcane trickstering is from basically observing other spellcasters and essentially stealing their ability or mimicking their ability to cast. And so he's got a bunch of like illusion magic, which is cool. So just getting into it, and it's a lot of fun. But because we're playing in physical games as well, we have like a table layout for our DM, so he'll have our models as well. On weeks where we're doing it remotely, and they'll stick out a bit like Roll20, where they have like a battle board when you come to fight. So Hero Forge is like the obvious easy play. So I used this like a couple of years ago to make a proxy for a war game, War Machine I was playing, where you couldn't get a particular character, like it wasn't on open release, so I made it. And man, it's come on a lot. This is super cool. Like I was so impressed. So I built this is Whistle. So I built him from scratch, and it's so much more customizable, so much more interesting these days. I've got a couple of different poses that I've saved. Let's have a little look. But you basically you build like you choose the race, you choose the features, you can alter the mouth, the hood, the clothes, each different part of the clothes. You can twist and turn like how their limbs are, choose what weapons they're using, what pouches, what bags they've got, and then obviously adjust those so that can go up or down. Choose which one is in its hand. But yeah, just to give you guys like a little look before I flip over to the actual mini. That's pretty cool. But like there's so many like pre-done poses. So once you've got your character, you can then basically tweak it and go, alright, this is exactly how I want it to look. And it's reasonably cheap to like buy the file. So you buy either like the STL file if you have a printer, a 3D printer, or if you know someone who does, or you can just get them to print it out for you and send you. Okay, I need to get this printed. Or they can just send you the actual model, and you can decide what sizes and stuff like that. So Whistle is a Kenku rogue. He level 6, so he's like been around a little bit, and got a rapier. I think is my like a moon touch rapier is my weapon, and a short bow. So I've gone with the short bow in the hand. We've also got quite a bit of luck. Let's just excuse the change there. We won't say that. Also got like an option where he's got the sword in hand instead, which is cool. Yeah, I've been super impressed by how this looks. Like, obviously, sometimes you put in a stance and you go, "Oh, I need to tweak that." So, for instance, the bow isn't just in my face. But like, yeah, the dynamic pose, and obviously this is all super customizable. So that's where we start with, and then from there, if one of our players has very kindly printed me my whistle model, and my trainers are stuck together, and yeah, we're gonna be playing in person next week. So I had the model back from our DM, so I can get a bit of faith on him. So I've primed him. There was a little error in the printing where he lost his arrow tip. That's alright, it turns out it's fine. So I've basically just taken like a bit of another model and just bashed it together, so made a new arrow tip. So let's have a look and start painting. So here we go. This is Whistle. So like I said, you've got the bow in hand. I've added his own bow tip, but like it's come out pretty well. I'm really happy with it. Like his head is slightly to the side, like a little show of curiosity. Just cool. So there he is, and we'll start off with a bit of grey and white on him. So I want to just make it a little bit easy for you. Some white, some grey. Give me a second. My paints are a little bit too far away. So it's grey, it's a silver. Where are my greys? So yeah, he's gonna go through like a couple of different options with him. Where's the grey? Where yeah, basically I'm gonna sort of just wing it and see what I like as I paint it. Such a shortage of grey. Okay. So he's prime black, so that'll help stick to the model. Just get out a brush. Start doing a bit of work on it. So he's got black on him. Yeah, this is me obviously super thin. I'm just using Vallejo Game Air, which is like the airbrush special paints from Vallejo, where there's Model Air as well, which is a bit more like kind of more realistic. So if you're painting like historicals or tanks and stuff like that, you're more likely to use Model Air. If you're painting something fantasy based, we get options for a bit more vibrancy in your colours, then you'll be wanting to use in Game Air. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful paints available from Vallejo to mess around with. I've just spent I don't know, like a good few hours the other day cleaning up my my airbrush, hoping that it's working and I'm not gonna cry and have to do this with the bad airbrush, like the old one. Let's have a look. Maybe it's just starting to come out. To adjust a little. So here it is. So just gonna start to add the grey. If it decides to work for me today. So I'm using a Sotar. So a Badger Sotar that I've had for a good few years now, and it's been amazing. And I think I just get to the point where it needs a bit more of a service. So this is like coming out very, very finely. So if I'll start to pick up on the higher surfaces, basically to the grey. You will see this coming out. So it's going to be a bit of a mix and match. He's wearing, I think I've actually started with like a cloak of Elvenkind, so we're going to go for like greys, greens and browns, basically like the different leathers. If you're into Wildemount, if you've been watching Critical Role, I've started in like the swamps where like the Kenku are from. It's kind of middle of the continent. But I've caught up with the rest of the party that I've just joined up with, up in the far north on the islands where the floating city was. So I've basically gone there looking for more clues, more ways to like touch the arcane, basically. Which means I've been travelling and sort of gone between groups, trying to like find my way in the wilds. Thanks, Soz, for the like. It's appreciated, buddy. Yeah, so I've had a bit of a stay in the outside world, and I've just come across the rest of the party mammoth hunting. So yeah, they went to like a small settlement where they were raided and needed to replenish the food stocks. And there's a bunch of like adventure parties essentially in the area, including the players. So rather than worrying too much, here we go. Now I fixed it. So yeah, rather than having which I'm not going to put us too much. Just going to adjust the airbrush slightly because it's that's better. Coming out not too much or not enough or not too much. So just get a little bit of a...
With fruit so juicy and ripe, with a clink of a coin.
So yeah, so I've caught up and basically stumbled into the characters as I was part of another group, so searching for these mammoths as part of like a trial, and my character had walked into basically a bunch of owl bears on the hunt, including like this ginormous humongous owlbear. So the players first find me running across like an open field of snow away from like a 20-foot owlbear or something, which is kind of cool. So you go. So just picking up the raised areas here with the grey. Try and get in the arrowhead. You see there, it's like already it's starting to just like help pick out the details. You can normally, as I say, you can just shoot some air through it as well to help to dry it. So that's the first lot. I'm just going to do exactly that. So this is just like a bit of a blast of air. So we start to see some of the details coming out a little bit better, where you can make out things that were just black. Obviously, then it'll just hug the. So that's my grey. We're just gonna go straight in with some white now. I'm not gonna clean it out because I'm not too fussed. I want to blend this together a little bit. So it's just a little bit of water to wipe out some of the excess. So that was what did we end up? We ended up as cold grey. Cold grey was the first grey we came, and then we're just going to dead white. So this is just, like I said, this isn't going to be like what the character will end up looking like. Let's give this a bit of a shake. But it's just like to set up like the shadows and the highlights for me a little bit. Just a splosh of flow improver. Just spray that through. There you go. Now we've got the white coming through again. So this is then more of a. So we've got the grey. If you saw that, the grey. Let's do this without losing the paint out of the airbrush. So the grey you kind of want to do at like a 45-degree angle, right? To the side. This will be easier with my hand, perhaps, to show you, so I'm not spilling paint. So yeah, you want to basically do your greys sort of starting from here, like do a gradient up towards here, and then as you like reach like the pinnacle, that's where you're going to start to put in the whites instead. We've got the white coming through. So there you go. So and now adding to the very tips. Give us a bit of a mix. I'm going to drop a white in there to make it a bit brighter. But yeah, the idea is so if I've just joined this ragtag bunch, I think we've got a dragonborn fighter, yeah, it's dragonborn who's an elvish knight, a human paladin, I'd like to think, which should be a half elf and elf. been awfully bad at picking up. Put this white through. I trust the airbrush is like a feeling of the effects of time a little bit. There we go. So we're gonna just do this top part. So if I raise it up, you'll be able to see just like the very top. So if you see, I'm just doing it using the airbrush like from pretty much like directly above the model. Just gonna pick up like the edge of the sword, the hilt, these feathers on the shoulder, and then basically like some of the top folds of the cloak. Arrowhead. Got a little bit of speckling coming out there. But I'm not super worried about that at the moment. Does mean that I need to do a bit more of a clean of the airbrush probably. But that'll do. That'll do to start us off. So just adjusting where the airbrush is set, so it can't go back like any further. Obviously, don't want to do it too much. Okay, that should be right. But yeah, we've got the basics done here. So already you can see like the amount of detail that comes out just by a quick once over. So you start to see the Kenku, the bird taking shape, which is cool. Need to just leave it only for like a minute or two, so this is super thin, so just airbrush paint. And work out what's next, so what is next? Just cleaning the airbrush quickly before we move on. Get the needle through. And yeah, it's basically then starting to pick out actual colours, so we might just switch to the red switch to a brush already. So what do we want? Yeah. So when am I doing them Vico? I need to get it printed right. So Vico is the Goliath Paladin of Vengeance that's from the Ravenloft campaign win, and this is Whistle. So if you just joined us, this is Whistle Kenku Rogue from the Wildemount campaign that I'm playing. So just starting on him. I'll give you a quick look at what we were looking at the start. Was basically like the level of detail and like the customizable like options you get out of Hero Forge when you want to go in and go, yeah, I'll make this guy. So this is the pose that that I'm basing Whistle's sculpt on, or his model, his print. And there he is. Like, it's pretty cool. Like I said, there was a problem with the print where the arrowhead head, I can't remember if it came off or it just didn't print. But like the rest came out really nicely. So the plan is to get this guy painted, just done completely, and then we'll go from there to see what's next. Maybe I'll do a Vico. Haven't made Goliath on there next. Oh, well, that's interesting as well. So you scale your characters on Hero Forge. So this guy Whistle is like about 5 foot tall, just under 5 foot tall. So you can put that in. So next to, I don't know, say like a human. You'll see that he's a little bit on the shorter side. So this is like a slightly different model. This is from Hero Forge. This is the Wanderer from Privateer Press's Hordes. But you get the idea, right? You can see that it's an adequate scale. Going, yeah, that guy's probably 6 foot tall, and the bird is shorter. So it's kind of cool. So when you print out a Goliath or something big, it'd be interesting to see just how big they come out of the model, which is cool. So we've got like a variety of textures, variety of different things to work with, and yeah, we're gonna have a little look. Just leave it to dry for a minute. We'll basically see where. Don't use the one use black 2.0. It's a bad one to use. Yeah, basically we're starting to use a variety of basically so you should have picked out my palette that had the paints like to hand. So if you haven't seen, bring my case across. You can see this. Below. Yeah, I bought the whole case. I was like, it's gonna end up saving me time and money, like 100%. I definitely haven't regretted the choice. So I'm just gonna pick up some greys, a bit of blue for like highlighting. A variety of greys. There we want to have got some like khaki. Oh, terracotta might be nice. It might be nice to have like a dark reddish cloak rather than it being all grey. So what have we got? We got some red, sort of a red cloak. Do a scarlet cloak, and then you start to build the other colours afterwards. We've got like khaki, some earthen colours, and some browns. So let's do some browns here. So we've got a leather brown, charred earth. We'll have scarlet red, and we'll have like a higher bloody red for highlights, and then we've got wolf grey, sombre grey, and a bit of imperial blue. So I think that's probably going to be all we need. I might actually add a black. I might be actually add a black. It's like a surface primer black. So my surface primer's at the front. Okay, we've got an actual black, although it looks like metallic. Should be black, hopefully. Okay, there's definitely an actual black. It's not the metallic one. And then for the metallics, I kind of don't necessarily use like the Model Air range. I've been picking up the Vallejo metal colour, COLOR. Can look up. Spelled the American way, which is like beautiful to go on, which is let's see how far we get. See if the airbrush is going to cooperate first off. So it seems to be frying me a little bit. So I'm going to start with the cloak. So we'll get like the underneath sections. So yeah, so this is a Kenku. So they're super cool. I like the idea of them. I think in Wildemount they're a little bit different background wise, where I think they served essentially like the Raven Queen, and when the good gods and the bad gods basically had it out, had the war, they gave themselves basically to save her, to a point where she thought they were like destroyed, and then they'd come back out as mortals rather than her like servants and messengers and like. So, yeah, like that difference is coming out pretty. See how this ends up out. So this is what was I saying? This is Scarlet Red. So we're going to do a red cloak. And then we'll work from there with the other details. I'm not going to worry about the sword too much. It's going to be one of the things gets added to. I think we do all the way up to like the hood. But, so just nice thin layers, build it up. Like if anyone watches like painting videos, tutorials, all you hear right is thin coats, thin layers, take your time. See, I'm still getting used to like where I'm holding stuff so you guys can see, which makes it a little bit more awkward for me, but I think it means I'll get there. How is how is your painting going? Are you painting 40k stuff at the moment? Skilled application of a bus ticket. I'm just going to avoid painting onto his face. It's not going to be the end of the world. He's a raven. It's going to be black, like so it's not going to be a huge deal if we get a little bit onto it. So got a little bit of a cowl, for lack of a better description. A big scarf. So, like, it's like quite noticeable how quickly, like, just like the little bit of application of like the zenithal, and then a bit of colour starts to like let them all take shape. And I'm gonna concentrate a bit more on like the raised sections. So you'll pick up the colour a little bit better just because of the zenithal. So they're just a little bit lighter paint on them, which means I'll pick up the red easier than the recess areas. Like the obvious, easy option of having like an elbow cloak is like, well, do whatever colour you want, right? It's basically like there to shift as you feel. So you get your hood up, basically enter stealth mode, right? So we're getting the yeah, gonna get the red through a bit better. Realise I'm guessing this is like kind of like a will, almost like a will skull that you kind of look with the big hood and the cowl. Like, not super intentional, but I'm not bothered by it for sure. So just gonna carry on. Just gonna build this red up a little bit more. Just across like the raised folds. Get some underneath here. It's just going to naturally be a lot darker. Where it's basically just black underneath. Where the tether hasn't touched it. So it'll just stay really nice dark red in the shadows. Try and get you off the angle to show. Yeah, we're starting to see the colours all come together in the book. Is it lunchtime soon? Ah, there you go. Because lovely wife is coming from the garden. So this turned out is quite a nice red. Like, not too vibrant, not too dull either. Let's just do a quick. Yeah. You can kind of like if you're not used to using an airbrush, like I'm not super experienced at it, but you can with like a small needle brush like this. Thanks for the sub, Marcy. You can pretty actively cover the sections you want to. Do a little more down the dark of this cloak. Just get that deeper colour, and then we'll be able to like highlight up on the upper folds. See what dark sections we want to work with. Get in. This is I suppose this is one like the only downsides of using Hero Forge is this. It comes as you print it. So if you've positioned the cloak in an awkward way, that's your fault. If it's hard to get underneath things, then think about it for next time, I guess. So. I really want this red to be like most vibrant here on the top head. I've made Red Riding Hood, haven't I, out of Kenku. So switch out. I'm gonna have a bit of this lighter red, so bloody red is the next one up. It should be fairly quick to dry. I've left a bit of red in the cup just on purpose. It's fine to, if you go in between transitions of colours and highlights, I wouldn't worry too much. Obviously, if I was then doing a completely different part of the model that was a completely different colour, if I was doing like a something white or lighter, then yeah, I'd be clearing the cup out properly and not having drop that. Yeah, not having the excess red before. But it's okay for now. Just dropping paintbrushes into my sink. Lucky that I've got a sink to hand, so I don't have to rely on like a bucket under my feet or something. I would inevitably kick over like every day. Like, I know myself enough. So just gonna get this red come through. So I'll just actually you see like it's a much brighter red than the top one. Coming through like a little bit speckly at the moment, so just fiddling with the brush itself. Let's do definitely needs a little bit of TLC at the moment. The airbrush, so let's do as I come through properly. Finish that now, but it's been a bit speckly. But yeah, let's have a look. It's just gone 12, so we'll do a little bit more before I take a lunch break. But yeah, I like I said, this is basically like shows how far 3D printing has come, and like how much you can do compared to how much you used to be able to do. Like, it's really impressive. Well, I find it really impressive. Like, I guess not everyone will, but so it's going to be just like the top surfing here. It's going to be catching this brighter red. So just the tops of the folds of this scarf. Top of this hood itself. And like, yeah, you can do really accurate stuff with like a fine airbrush. Doing the edges here. Getting that one a little bit more up. Looking basically just to pick out any of these raised parts. So the texture is there on the scarf to be picked out. Should do a zoom in a second, but you can see it now. Giving that obviously. Looking at a similar thing for the its raised folds of paint. It's not quickly obvious because you're doing really thin layers, but that highlight is coming through. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how many the rest of our player party can have finished models. I've seen our paladins be putting up like progress pics of their painting, but not seen much of the rest of them. So that should be interesting. Like already we've got obviously a bit of a messy beak. Necessity, but that's not the end of the world. And then we'll go back, we'll do this highlight, and then we'll be able to like just go back and do low lights, essentially do like the shading, and pick out the darker areas if we want to when we do the beak. I'll probably use like a blue on the feathers as well as just like rather than just having a solid black. The paint comes through a bit better. Yeah, rather than having just like a solid black, you want to use something like a blue or like a purple or grey to like highlight something like a raven or crow. So we're starting to see like that gradient of colour. Hopefully. Probably see the difference on the camera. Top rolls and then sides against where the light's going to be hitting. Yeah. So we're looking. Okay, we'll do a little bit more into the side there. So we've got a decent start here on the cloak and the self. And then we look at doing some greys or browns onto like the leather armour on his chest piece. But we might leave this a minute or two and go in and grab a sandwich. But so that's the first step. Red Riding Hood / Will Scarlet coming in for a bit of D&D Kenkuing. But yeah, they're super cool. I'm really impressed with the model. I'm really happy. I should point out this isn't sponsored in any way, but yeah, I'd use this guy's again. I can imagine putting quite a bit of time just into being able to design these models. Like, it's cool what you get out of it. Like, if you want to spend the time to have your own model and go, yeah, this is X or Y. This is my favourite D&D character. And that's the thing as well. It doesn't have to be limited to like what you're playing, right? In war games in D&D, you could just go like, oh, well, this was my favourite character from this game I played, 10 years ago. Why worry about it? Just like go, yeah, I can do that. So yeah, it's the red finish for now. Then we'll come back over things like the sword, like the sheath handle, his face. But we'll start to transition to get some actual brushes out. My airbrush is fighting me a little bit this morning. I definitely recommend if you are an airbrush user, clean it every time. So I'm just cleaning it now. I guess give it like I've taken it apart this week and given it a clean now and a service, but yeah, I'm very tempted to send it off to get like a full-on like deep clean. Just because I've had it for maybe like 4 years, and I've only done so much with it, like cleaning wise. So I've kept it in good nick, but it's not like had a deep clean or anything. I think that might be something that's worth doing every couple of years. It's like a lot of money and a lot of time in it. I'm kind of like, well, you can often get like a service done for like £30-40, or the places like the service, like banjo airbrushes, like near me. So like they're basically like the licensed banjo sellers and stuff like that. So that's the plan is once I get a break, a breather for this, maybe I need to buy a second airbrush so I can have a good airbrush to hand while I send it away, is to send it off. But we got like the basics here. Let's see if I zoom in a bit. Zoom out. So we see him start to come together. Like just add that bit of character. Obviously we've got a nice vibrant cloak at the moment. I think I'll probably like start to, I will as the model goes through the process, we'll end up having like sort of dirtier, darker bits towards the bottom of the cloak. Or basically we'll dull it down a little bit. Yeah, so that's Whistle, my Kenku Rogue in progress. I'm going to take a bit of a break now. Just going to go and get some lunch and hopefully I'll have time to jump on and do a little bit more this afternoon. I would like to. I'd definitely start on the leathers and like the arm wraps and stuff like that. Cool. If you have joined me, thank you very much. Don't forget you can like, subscribe, follow, feed the social media gods, however you're watching. I get this guy up on YouTube as well as we progress through it, and the plan is to basically just have him completely finished, ready for Monday to stick down on an actual table for D&D for some Wildemount. But cool, thanks for joining me. Like I said, check out Guess One Gaming on all everywhere. I need to sort out my Instagram so it links in, just got my old account details. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the sub again, Marcy. Super appreciate it, buddy. Really, anyone coming in and chatting and giving support makes it all a little bit more worthwhile. And we'll see you late this afternoon or this evening, depending on how the time goes. So thanks very much. Goodbye.